Welcome to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, today's January 17th, 2023. I'm your host, Jiroc the Viking, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Gwen the Shield Maiden.
Hello.
We also have Shield Maiden, Morning Darkness.
Hey guys, good to see you.
And joining us is a Viking, Gorthar.
Yay.
Hey Gorthar, it's been a while since we've had you on.
Oh,
You're muted though.
Gorth's muted. He don't want to talk to us.
I've been lost in the woods. I'm not used to talking to people anymore.
Oh yeah, Mistlands came out. And that's got all your time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can speak insect now, but yeah.
Good. Yeah, Mistlands is taking the world by storm. And to give a brief preview of what's coming up, lots of Valheim news came out this week. We have, and we'll be covering it throughout the episode, but just a preview, we have some Ballista changes incoming, picture of a 3D printed Ballista, which hopefully they make that available in their merch store at some point in the future. A really big Ashlands sneak peek, which I was super surprised, which we'll get into. And I know somebody who's going to really like the other thing, new clothes. We have been talking about new clothes and requesting it forever. It's like things we like to see changed or added to Valheim. I think that's been on the list like 5 or 6 times.
Yes.
Wow, no, yeah.
And possibly some new vanity items. We'll get into it here. Let's see. First off, anything interesting this week? Gwen, I see you have listed something on our script.
Yes, I have done. Well, I missed last week.
Yeah.
But other than that, over the past week, I have been on quite a few social adventures. I attended my first sea shanty nights that a local pub, apparently every first or second Wednesday of the month. They have like a group of people who come in and sing sea shanties, and anyone can join in and like basically attend that. So with a group of friends, we were like, okay, let's go check it out. If anything, we're meeting up, having a drink at the pub, and it was really fun. Learned a lot of new sea shanties that I didn't know about, and most of my time was just me frantically like looking up lyrics because I was like, I want to join in, but I don't know like the lyrics. Funnily enough, a couple of days later, I was looking for a birthday gift for a friend in a shop, and I saw that there was like a tiny book of sea shanties. I was like, "This is perfect. I'm gonna have to come back to that and get that book." So did that sea shanty night, always fun. Last weekend, what did I do? On Friday, we went out to dinner with friends to a Polish restaurant. Had so much food that I literally didn't eat the whole weekend after that. It was, how Eastern European food is. It's very filling. It's like hearty food for the long winters. And it's mostly meat, potatoes, beets, and onions, essentially.
Sounds delicious.
And really nice. But gosh, it was so filling. I had too much food on Friday, and literally it took me 2 days to get over it. I couldn't eat any proper meal. Just had like snacks and just like basically waiting to digest this massive platter of meat. But that was nice. And then on Saturday, I went to an arcade bar, which Jiroc, I think, most of you would have loved actually. It was really cool. It was for a friend's birthday. And it's basically a bar that has all these like amazing UV and neon like wall paint and wall art and graffiti and stuff everywhere, and arcade games from the very retro stuff all the way to, they had a couple of consoles with some classic games. You basically go buy a bunch of tokens, and then you get to go and play around on all these arcade games, and it was great. It was great fun. it reminded me how quickly you lose your tokens if you do any fighting games that you're not very good at, because essentially you last 10 seconds and then it's like, oh, to carry on, insert another token. No.
I've always wanted one of those stand-up arcade games in my garage. Like I've never, I actually have friends who have a few of them, like really into the old arcade games. And I thought, but then I think, well, I can have thousands of those games on my computer and not take up a bunch of space in my garage, but it's more the novelty, right?
The same. It's not the same. It's the feel of the
It's totally different feel.
Yeah. You can build them though. You can get a Raspberry Pi and get like an emulator and have like still build the casing for it, or like a cheaper version, but have like loads of different games on it.
Yeah.
I think most of these arcade games, like except the ones where they actually had some proper retro, the whole thing was new. A lot of them were like they had the box and the like buttons and stuff, but they had a couple of games running on them so that they could switch them over. But yeah, it was good fun. Did a bit of Dance Revolution, if anyone remembers that. But yeah.
Any video? Come on. No Dance Revolution
not
video?
Of me. I took videos of other people, but not of me. Didn't. It took us a while to get to work.
You're a content creator now. You got to get people to record you doing stuff. That's where you got all your content.
Vlogging. Yeah, maybe one day. But yeah, no, that was great fun and a really cool occasion. And then on Sunday we resumed our combat training.
Nice.
It had been a while because of the bad weather and the Christmas holidays and so on, we hadn't done it for like about a month. And I collected a number of new fresh bruises, which is great. But yeah, that was my quite busy weekend. How about you guys?
That's pretty awesome. Well, yeah. First off, I wanted to ask you. We still have our hat challenge going on. New hats every episode. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell us about this? This thing you're wearing.
Yes. So as I was telling you guys, when I saw the news of the new clothes, which we'll get into in a bit, I got really excited and I thought, if we're going to talk about the new updates that we got from the devs and the new clothes, I should wear my Viking clothes. But I literally just finished work like an hour ago and didn't really have time to have dinner or get changed or anything. So I thought, you know what, the most authentic thing I have that's kind of in theme with the new clothes is this hat, which is a hat that I bought at a reenactment market. It was handmade. It's a wool hat that has been made with a Norse method called null binding, which is basically knitting with your fingers. And yeah, so it's a null binded hat. I don't know if that's null binding is the method. And yeah, I mean it's pretty nice. It's brown and it's got this orange trim. I wear it all the time, especially when I'm out in the cold, walking the dog or visiting castles in the really bad UK weather where it's always raining and windy and stuff. It keeps my my little head warm. So that's the one I'm wearing today.
I love the here. I'll zoom in on you, but I love the irregularities in the stitching. It just something about that looks so much nicer than the perfectly stitched machine, versions of clothing. I just love that.
Yeah, it's very handmade. I mean, like, also normally if you're really good at your craft, it should be fairly regular. But yeah, I agree with you. There's something about hand stitching, and I was thinking that because I made just as a little project, because I do need to get better at hand stitching. But I hand sewn a little linen pouch, and I made the eyelets also by hand, like hand stitched. Or I don't know if we'll see any of that. Actually, that's not the nice looking one. There's one that's pretty nice and
but it's visible. Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, like bit. I don't know, it's not very visible. So those eyelets that normally, if you buy something, it's like it's a metal eyelet that's been put in, or it's like done by machine and so on. And I was like, hand stitched, it actually looks really pretty, and it's got like a different touch to it. Anyway, so that's my null binding hat. And also, we'll talk about it again when we talk about the new clothes. But this is a hand-forged penannular brooch that I had made by a blacksmith friend at one of our reenactment shows. He was actually supposed to make me a Norman style one, which is more the round ones. And he did this one by mistake, but I was like, hey, this is exactly how the Vikings had it. So I'll have that too. And I ended up having both, which is great. So this one is actually very much like the ones that are shown in one of the pictures that the devs have posted. So we'll get into that, and I'll get nerdy soon.
I want to get something like that too for this fur thing that I have, because let me get my beard out of the way. It has this, strap and buckle.
Can you zoom in on your picture? Oh, it's got a strap and buckle. Okay, yeah. You need
which isn't appropriate for the age. So I want to get something like that and then take this thing off so I can kind of strap it together with that.
You could. Vikings were fans of leather toggles. They had like toggle shoes and stuff. So if you wanted, instead of a strap and buckle, to have like a toggle, that would be nice. Otherwise, I'll at the next Viking or reenactment market I go, I'll keep an eye out for nice brooches. I'll send you a couple of cool pictures and options. I'll do your Viking shopping for you.
That'd be awesome. You guys got all the cool Viking festivals out there. I've only been able to find the one, and it's pretty far from me over here. Let's see. Since you talked about your hat, I guess I'll talk about mine.
Yes.
So I got 4 hats in Nashville. You saw the cowboy hat, the wicker one. And this is the nice black felt one that I bought there. I tried on 4 or 5 different black felt hats, and this is the one I fell in love with. And of course, it was the most expensive one. Like, oh, great. The one I really like has the most expensive one. The hat band here that you see going around, it comes with a black one, so you can't really see it. And I bought a separate one. They have all kinds of hat bands, and there's a tradition to kind of like stick various different things in the hat band to hang off the side of the hat here, like feathers or like a playing card and all kinds of things. So like I'll start my collection when I find something I like. What's that, Gorth?
Nice.
A little lace in the felt. Like a little lace card on the side.
Yeah. Because I play poker a lot, with friends, just casually.
I know.
Yeah, stick one of those in there. So I like it, and it's good for like special events because I'm so pale. And they made the hat just like in the Viking Age for those pale Vikings to keep the sun off,
Those pale
it's
Viking
authentic Viking. Authentic Viking cowboy. But yeah, like I've been to weddings and stuff, right? And like normally I wear like the big beach hat and it just like a big wicker beach hat because I'm sitting out in the sun for like 2 hours at a wedding in the middle of summer, and I'm like sunburned and I'm all greasy because I'm like, layers of sunscreen on. And at least now with this, I can look a little bit fancy, because I'm in a suit, right? And a beach hat doesn't look great while you're in a suit. So, yeah.
It's a really nice looking hat.
Oh, thank you.
As I was telling to you earlier, it looks, the shape is so perfect. It looks like you've got just a hat and glass
filter,
screen filter. Yeah. One of those like Snapchat
like
filters type thing.
Vanta black hat or something.
Oh yeah. I actually put a light back behind me to kind of illuminate this area a little bit. You can see it on my chair behind me.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I was noticing all my hats were just completely getting lost in my awesome chair. Gaming chair. I think Gwen, you and I have the same company gaming chair.
Yes. Except I think mine is probably a bit big for me. It's like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that tall. Well, but it's awesome because mine is a special edition with a really pretty
you got a
drawing
pretty print on it. Yeah.
I could see it maybe on the side a little bit there.
Yeah, mine is mostly black and gray, so you can barely even see the logo on there. But it's pretty nice. They come in 3 sizes. I have to get them to be an affiliate, but you have to from what I understand, you have to be like a regular streamer and have a big fan base. And then like they'll sponsor you as an affiliate. But yeah, let's see. What did I do? We launched Ravenheim season 2. Ran around with Christy mostly because there were a whole bunch of streamers, like 10 or 12 of us, content creators, all jumped on together one night, and it was a little bit laggy, so we all tried to get away from the group, and I ended up helping their server admin by reconfiguring their mods and removing some of them that they didn't need, and it actually improved the lag. So hopefully it won't be as laggy in the future. But yeah, we ran around. It was pretty crazy. Christy's got the video up. I haven't put mine up yet, but it would be the same content, but from a different perspective if I get mine up. So check out Gaming with Christy. She's got the video up. It's pretty fun. Our first episode on there with like 10 or 12 content creators. And then the craziest 4 hours of my life was just spent with Morning Darkness over there, and then eventually Gwen, or I should say the craziest 4 hours of my 36 deaths.
Oh gosh. No, 36.
Yes, I counted my markers.
Really? 36. Was it 36? Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. For once, I was not that bad. I mean, I did join in much later.
In the last hour.
Yeah, I was there for like 4 more hours, and there was about 3 minutes where I quickly created a thumbnail so that I could start streaming to direct traffic over to her Twitter, and so I was at spawn or Twitch. I keep saying Twitter.
I know,
me too.
Twitch, yes. Morning Darkness with 5s instead of S's, just like her name over there. So I stood at spawn on the Chaos stream for about 3 minutes, and I probably died 6 or 7 times while I was getting that thumbnail. So officially, like 30 deaths.
30 deaths. Yeah. Okay.
Not about tally.
But you were getting I think one of the reasons you didn't have as many deaths, besides being an amazing player, is you.
Oh, thank you.
You got the invulnerability shield because you were running the mod.
Yeah.
None of us, I don't think, could get it. So whenever somebody put that on the players, you got it, and then you would run around, which was great because you would tank the mobs for us where we're trying to just get away and survive. So if you guys want to watch that stream,
we're trying to repair.
Yeah, just repair. Just to get a house up and a workbench and a roof so you could repair. It wasn't much time to do anything else. Just when you get a little tiny base going so you could do a couple of upgrades, the viewers would spawn stuff on you. So to explain to the people listening, the Chaos stream, you get points over there on not Twitter, Twitch, and
channel points.
Yeah, channel points. And you can spawn things on the players, which were me, Morning, Gwen, and Glaive, and
Bambi.
And Bambi, I eventually jumped in there too. And the viewers didn't give us much of a break. Whenever we got almost got a little house. It's funny, Glaive wandered off from the group thinking he was going to be safe, and he would climb a tree and try to build a base up there, but the spawns were up there too. And then he tried to dig under a rock, but then the spawns were there too. And nothing was ever safe. There's nowhere you went. The viewers could find you.
He tried to cheat the system, but the system won.
So just so that you guys are aware, it's a mod called Chaos Tricks, and it has a Twitch integration. I don't know if it has a YouTube integration, but what it does is it allows the viewers to either spend channel points, which you just accrue from watching a stream. You do get bonus points if you subscribe or if you follow. If you're a subscriber, you get double points. And if you gift a subscription, you get extra bonus points. But you can also spend bits, which are basically a currency. You have to spend money to get them. And if you spend bits, there were no cooldowns.
That's why we were actually, people were having fun. Like the comments were saying, this is absolutely crazy and so entertaining, because we'd be like trying to do something and then whoop, 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 running away. Run for your life.
Yeah, there was a lot of insanity. And so points of interest. I did have a setting chosen that doesn't have to be chosen. And it's either everything that spawns on me, or everything that spawns on each person in the game.
And what was it set to?
Everyone.
Because I was getting stuff spawned when I was nowhere near you. So
yeah.
Well, I couldn't guarantee that if something was spawned in, you wouldn't just run away and not help me.
Yes.
Gwen.
there was definitely a radius on that, though, because at some point I went a bit rogue, because I was like, okay, I'm going to try to be smarter. I'm going to play the long game. And I tried to set up like a hidden base somewhere. And I think it was just far enough that I wasn't getting, I wasn't in the radius of stuff spawning on me, because I could see the announcements on the screen, but then no mobs near me. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. I don't know if they could choose like individual players, because I remember I was at you guys were still back in the like over by the burial chamber, and I had died, so I was back at the little house that we had where I had managed to set up a bed, and there were things spawning on you guys, but not me for the longest time. And then I said, well,
interesting.
Thank goodness nobody's spawning anything on me. And then within like a minute, there was a bunch of things spawning. Meteors were falling from the sky. And I was like, oh, great. I shouldn't have said anything.
That's why I stayed really quiet at some point, because I was like, okay, I'm trying something here. If no one's watching and no one knows, if I don't say anything, they'll leave me alone.
So yeah, the other interesting thing is that it kind of was scuffed at first when we first got started. I didn't launch it correctly, so nothing was spawning in. So I had curated the list really well. I had like set up some really good cooldown times so that we would have moments. I had set the bit costs a little bit higher so that people would maybe be a little bit less encouraged to just drop everything on us all at once. And and then it wasn't working. So I relaunched it and it reset everything. So when I got it working, the immediate thing that people first spawned in was my most hated mob. Well, my second most hated mob now. Desquitos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that's brutal, because you were running around naked or in rags at that point.
Oh, yeah, right at the beginning.
Yeah.
There was like 5 Desquitos right there. Zap, zap, zap. And then you'd respawn. And they would kill you as soon as you respawn, so you couldn't get a break.
So, and there were 3 Desquito deaths right at spawn for me, and I counted all 3 of them, but otherwise I only died 10 times, but realistically 7, because I was just like sitting there, I was like, let the Desquitos kill me, just bring it in as I was trying to reset some of the settings, but I didn't do a very careful job. I was just trying to get us going.
Well, no, that's how you survive. Yeah, it's a new event for you, and so you learned how to get it going and set it up and what to expect from everything. So next time will be more fine-tuned.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more fine-tuned, but there will be a next time.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Right? Yeah. More milestones to come, I'm sure. 1,000 subs over there on Twitch. So I'm sure.
Oh God, 1,000 subs would be insane.
What is it? What? How do they?
Followers.
1,000 followers.
Yeah. I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Subs are
and you'll get there one day.
Like Patreon, right? Like they're supporting.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think the next cast stream will either be a year or 1,500 followers. I'm pretty sure the year anniversary will come first.
But
that'll be And that'll be not counting the very first stream that I did, which was for International Women's Day. That'll be when I decided to actually start streaming, which was in April. Late March. I have to look that up again.
Well, was there anything else that you did over the last week that might have been fun for the listeners to hear about?
Well, yeah. So I have been really, really careful. I haven't gone on all of these wild and crazy adventures and cool events like Gwen or Jiroc, but because between the kid and being in a wheelchair, it's hard to get out in general anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was invited to an adult tea party.
Ooh.
Well, to a
Why do you have to precise that it's adults? Do you do kiddie tea parties?
No, okay. So let me.
And if so, I want to go to the kiddie one. I want to be part of the cake fights.
Okay, let me be clear. It was just a tea party where I got to sit with adults.
Yeah.
For like 3 hours and actually talk to someone other than in my household.
Yes.
And we did have children there. So I guess I should just be clear. It was just a tea party. But it was the first time my kid got to really sit down and play with other kids. Because we'll go to the park and stuff, but that's not the same thing. We've gone to another birthday party, but once again, never really an opportunity for him to sit down and play next to other children in any sort of meaningful way. So he actually got to play with kids. He was very self-entertaining, and I just got to sit there and have conversation. I guess this wasn't my first event. My first event was the LARP that I went to in November. This was my second event, but still, it was a really nice sit-down social event, and I got to talk about gaming, RPG tabletops, and LARPing, and we talked about computer gaming, and it was a very nerdy tea party, but it was still really
Those are the best kind.
really lovely, and it was lovely company, and it was so nice.
Cool. I had a question that I think Gorth did something this last week on the server. If it happened, Gorth, did you manage to get that mist cloud set up on?
Yep.
Can you tell us what you did?
For sure. This was kind of an idea we had once we started new settlement on the new Mistlands server that we have opened up, Runelands. Players decided to do a Mist City, which initially the name was horrible. It was called Mistomi.
Mistomi.
That sounds like some sort of bacteria. Sounds like a bad fungus that might grow between your toes.
Yeah.
Mistomi.
We're feeling Mistomi. So we decided to go for Rune City, but we still wanted to keep the Mistlands element. And yeah, we now have a veil of mist from Mistlands surrounding our little village.
Oh, that's so
players
cool.
actually need to find their way through the mist, through a little path that we built with the wisp lights.
Oh, cool.
It gives it a little nice ambience.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about being on a server is with admins, you can introduce unique things throughout the world for the players. And when you pitched that idea, I did a little testing with those, because the mist is actually an object in the game. Mm-hmm. And so you can delete them and you can add them. So all that mist you see in the Mistlands, I actually did a video a few weeks ago about what if there was no mist in the Mistlands. And I deleted all the mist. Actually, I ran a mod for that one that removed the mist and it looks beautiful. But since they're objects, Gorth asked, hey, can we add them? Let's do a little testing on them. And then they seemed like they would work, and I haven't been there to check it out, but on our new server, he's got it on there, so that's cool. Be interesting to get the new player feedback, what they think of that. Do they have access to the mist removing light early on, or how do they get to the Rune City without the mist?
Well, like I said, the whole city is surrounded by one side is surrounded by water. Well, that side was not covered by mist, so I'd only covered the side from the inland. Mm-hmm. But through the middle of the mist, there is a path through there. It's fairly easy to see.
Okay, so even without a demist,
for sure,
kind of follow.
You can use the wisp torches. they also clear the mist around them.
Yeah, exactly.
The torches.
Cool.
Torches that you put on the ground, they serve as permanent demisters. So with that, I made a little tunnel.
And it's meadows, right? So there shouldn't be too many like tough mobs.
Super safe.
Except the maybe the gigglies at night.
At night, yeah, that's the only possible concern would be gigglers. But if you keep your audio up, you'll sure be listening to them coming up to you. Same as you would anywhere else. Because let's be honest, we've all been jumped by gigglers in the middle of the night, even without the mist.
Yeah,
there was no mist there, and they still jumped us. So, yeah.
Well, yeah,
it might make it a little bit difficult to see them from afar, but they will still gang up on you anyway.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me, we got our modded server up. We're calling it now, it's Jotun Quest. We're now calling it Jotun Quest 2.0 because we did like an overhaul of all the mods since the last big Iron Gate update to refine it, make it better. Plus there's a new modder on the scene who's got like basically like 5 or 6 mods all in one. And it runs really smoothly. He's balanced it really well. We're actually going to probably have him on the podcast for an interview here in a few weeks, which will be fun. But
excellent.
I logged on to play a little bit to see how the server was running, and one of the mods adds all these new little animals throughout the world, and you can tame almost all of them, and it adds male and female versions. So if you want a mating pair, you have to get the male and the female version. You can't have 2 males, 2 females. Obviously, you want them to mate. So I ran around and I got moose. I got foxes. What else?
Fox-eye, I'm pretty sure.
Fox-eye. I got some of these new little rabbits that are different than the Mistlands rabbits. Deer. You can tame deer. So I got them all. I got all my breeding pairs. I spent a few hours one night, got them all set up, and I have a little house. And so I started breeding them and taming them. And then the gigglies came and almost completely destroyed my house, killed almost all my animals, and I was like, you little
monsters.
Yeah, so I need better base defenses.
Oh, yes.
It's somewhat worse when it happens in a bat attack, just because the bats are so tiny and they don't do much damage, but they will decimate all your tamed mobs.
Yeah,
one of the good things.
And they're really frustrating to try to hit as well.
But with magic, you're covered completely. You just do you summon a protection bubble, and all your creatures are protected during the whole raid.
Oh.
But
Really?
Yeah.
I've only killed Ichthyr. I don't have magic yet.
Well, you can always summon the Wizards Guild. We'll come down and help you.
Oh yeah, give me some magic.
We'll provide a good service. Always there to provide the magic.
Cool. Well, lots of fun stuff coming up in the podcast today. So let me get through the rest of the announcements real quick. I'm having fun with merch. I used to do print on demand stuff years ago for fun. And so, of course, I'm doing a few things. I added a few new designs. Let's see. I just want to show you guys. Of course, who doesn't love you in the game if not Odin, right?
No, I think it should be Odin hates you, because Odin is the one who puts you in the 10th world to prove your worth before you go to Valhalla. So I'm pretty sure this should be changed to Odin hates you.
Just Odin is watching from behind the tree. Oh yeah,
Odin is watching actually would be a cool...
Odin is watching. Oh, that might be... I don't know if I should do a different version or just change it just to have one variant available. Yeah, Odin is watching. Yeah. But yeah, so I
really like the design. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so I go through this website that I have a subscription fee for. They have some great artists. And I put into search terms. Of course, I search for everything like Viking, Norse, Valkyries, Shield Maidens, Longships, Odin, Thor, whatever I could find. And they don't have a huge selection, but this was one that I really liked, so I wanted to do something with it. And maybe Odin is watching would be more appropriate for this one. I have to think about that. It's easy to change. So, of course, I thought this would make a great sticker.
That's a nice patch.
Yeah,
that would look great on the backpack.
I have I don't know about you guys, but I have 2 collections. I collect metal tins the more colorful, the better. Almost any subject matter. I have so many different subject matters. I even take apart old lunch pails or TV trays from, like as old as I can find them, the better. And I put them on my backyard all along this redwood wall that I have. And so it colors up the maybe I'll take a picture someday and share that. But in my garage where we play poker, I have a bunch of like white cabinets all over the place and shelving for storage. And I put just stickers all over them. Any fun sticker that I get from anywhere, I don't care where. I'm like, oh, I want that one on there. But let's see what else. Oh yeah, so I had the Wolf Loves You shirt, but somebody suggested I added a moon, and I kind of like it with the moon.
Yeah, nice. Might not even need the mushrooms.
Oh yeah, well the mushroom is there on all of them. It's kind of like the aesthetic style of this design to signify the ground plane, right? Like that's the ground there. And it does feel a little bare if there's not a little extra color. I've tried removing them and I didn't like it. And then maybe I replaced them with other things, but since it has it on all of them, it's just like a theme. And then of course I redid the color scheme for my logo. I don't know if you guys remember, but there used to be a big kind of lavender circle, which I removed a while back. And then this lightning here used to be a lighter shade of yellow from the Give 'em the Business yellow. I just thought it was too much yellow. I mean, the artist did a great job. He's a friend of mine, actually, I've known forever. But I wanted it to pop more and have a little more contrast. So I changed it to this blue color.
I like that.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the blue, the lightning that you get from some of the... Is it the
Himanothel?
No, well, one of the new ones. I don't know. I feel like there might be that in the weapon.
The new Atgear.
Yeah, the new Atgear.
It looks like the lightning from the new Atgear. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I went through a lot of variations on the color and brought my Shield Maiden in and said, okay, I've been staring at these for hours. I can't be objective anymore. Which one looks good? But we settled on this one, and I think it does look pretty good. And of course, I want because I want stickers for my garage. Yeah, I made a sticker out of it too. So,
hey, when you create those designs, do you get like a discount if you ordered them for yourself?
Well, yeah, because there's a built-in like a tiny % profit for me because they do most of the work, right? They supply the shirt, the printing, they do all the shipping, they do everything, so they get most of it. Like from a T-shirt, I get a few bucks from it. I just if I order it, then of course they subtract those few bucks if I order my own. Yeah. And I do because I like to order a lot of samples because it's actually been important a few times a design, the colors or the lines or something, it just doesn't quite look right. And so I like to order samples of just about everything, at least one of each so that I know that it looks good.
I'm looking at that one, the previous one that you were showing, and
Which
to
one?
me,
This one?
the last tab on the right side. That looks
the sticker?
like a mouse pad. That could be a mouse pad.
Oh, that could be a mouse pad. Yeah, they have a mouse pad option. Very good idea, Gorth.
Nice.
Coming soon.
I would totally get that mouse pad.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. It was hard too because this logo is it's like 16 by 9 kind of like this instead of long, which is like almost a little better for t-shirts, like in these designs for a t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
So when it's on the shirt, it has to be a little bit smaller. Like unless I stretched it up, it would deform. It wouldn't look right. But yeah, so
big rectangle mouse pad
would be awesome.
One of those that covers the desk.
Actually, I need a new mouse pad. I should get one.
There you go.
Hey.
Great idea. That's a great thing about having a community. It's like you guys come up with great ideas. That's like even just like the viewers on YouTube said, add a moon. And duh, it's a wolf. Let's add a moon.
Oh.
And I thought about putting a crescent moon, but in the game, I think it's always just a full moon, right? So
it's always full moon.
Yeah. So I designed just a full moon, and yeah, cool,
I like it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the suggestion, Gorth. That's awesome.
Welcome anytime.
Let's see what else do we got. Oh yeah. So for our servers, I mentioned Jotun Quest 2.0, amazing new mods. I actually, if you look at my community posts on my YouTube channel, I posted a picture of me in the deep north with a brand new outfit from the mod and a new creature right behind me, a giant woolly mammoth, and one in the Ashlands with a new outfit and new business giving hammers, and a warg, a giant like Ashlands wolf looking creature. It's huge, and you can tame it like a wolf and it'll follow you around and fight for you.
You do the little thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah, let's see what else we got. Oh, I guess we're getting ready. We're ready to jump right into the Valheim news. Lots of Valheim news this week. Oh my goodness. So,
yeah.
I mean, Ashlands just came out not too long ago. We've already got a bunch of news. Okay, let me bring it up.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Gwen.
definitely was not expecting. I was expecting maybe a little like, oh, happy new year and thanks, for all the feedback on Mistlands, and oh, here's a couple of things that we're working on. But like, damn, they dropped so many new things.
Yeah,
We're not gonna hide it anymore. Take it all.
Yeah,
there you go. That might be the biggest announcement. Is they said with Mistlands they wanted to be a little more secretive because they were doing something really special with that biome, and we saw like mist right everywhere, something we don't have anywhere else. But with the Ashlands, I guess they want to constantly show updates in development throughout so that they can get feedback. And they said, please be warned that anything we show you could end up not being in game or being drastically changed too, depending on, what they, finally decide to go with. So it's fun.
As we saw with the Seekers and the little moth, the Seeker that initially looked like moths.
Yeah.
And now they look like locusts.
It changed quite a bit in design, that thing.
It did. I think the choice to go from, trying to stay as spoiler free as possible to being quite a bit more transparent is an interesting one. Because I know it's already a really polarizing topic. Because there are people like Gwen and some other people I know that are just like, no, I want to experience it for the first time. I want to try to avoid as many spoilers as possible. And they still dropped a lot of information. Like they
I did not find them secretive. I think with the Mistlands, I mean, I feel like they readjusted a little bit because at the beginning we heard nothing about the Mistlands, and people were complaining that we're like, when is the new content dropping? Yada yada yada. And then they started sharing more and more, and they were sharing sneak kind of previews and so on. Yeah. But I think there's a balance, right? Some people want transparency on the process of development, like knowing more or less like how far into the development, what kind of maybe directions they're taking. Like I'm happy learning about that. I just don't want all the mobs, all the new kind of foods, creatures, weapons, and so on to be spoiled. Yeah, I know some people do, but it's like I'm interested. I'm curious to see how they strike the balance, because you can be transparent about the development of the new biome without necessarily spoiling everything, right? So it will be. Yeah, I agree with you, MD. It was an interesting choice. I don't know what to think about that one.
Well, so I follow 7 Days to Die development still pretty closely, and they have for years.
They're still developing that?
Yes, actually, yeah. And they're like upgrading, because it looked like an old, game a few years back, and they've been upgrading it to newer engines and newer graphics and newer mechanics. But they've always released every single thing in development, like every bossy type creature, every new creature coming, every new building design, everything comes in before the update. And what I found that does is it creates hype and it creates attention and it keeps it in the mainstream. In people's attention, so that people don't what I can tell you right now, Valheim, it's Iron Gates. I think it's great for them because I can see my statistics. When I put out videos throughout this last year, the numbers were all worse than the year before, all of them, because there was hardly any development news, right? That came out. Like nobody knew, like Mistlands was way out. We didn't know how close it was. Then eventually they started to drop a few things, but But I think like if they had exposed us to that mist and talked about some of the mechanics and the ballista and a few of the things that are really big gripes, like every game gets gripes. But when you start to show it to the players and you say, oh yeah, it's going to shoot everybody. Oh, you get to get the feedback. And if like 95% of the community is in the preview says that that's not a good idea, let us have a setting if I want for that, then it would never have been released that way. And then they wouldn't have to go back and add time to redevelop that item. They could have just been part of the regular process. And the mist, actually, I've seen so many good suggestions for the mist in that increasing radius of the demisters, the ones you place, the one that's flying around you. Maybe when you finally kill the queen boss, maybe at least that zone and a few zones around it clear of mist. Like just different things so that you can get into the Mistlands and actually enjoy all that work that they put into it. Right now, there are little pockets that don't have mist, but I think that there's probably a little too much mist. And one of the things I wanted to maybe offer my supporters in the future, because now I have mods that I can remove the mist, is I can create worlds and remove huge portions of the mist so that they could either have no mist in the world at all, if that was the way they want to play, or there would just be a few pockets of mist so that they could still enjoy most of the Mistlands and go into the mist when they want. But like these options aren't available right now. It's just like it's completely covered in mist almost. And there's a lot of people complaining. And I kind of get it. Like Gorth, you've been in the Mistlands for quite a while as a player because you brought your veteran character from the playground server to the Runelands. Yep. What do you think about that? What do you think about being too much mist in the Mistlands? Would you like to have little pockets or bigger pockets where you had like less mist or no mist?
As is with the current iteration of Mistlands, not the first one once Mistlands was released, I find Mistlands very empty, and I would like for the mist to be pushed back a little bit.
Yeah.
When it was a bit fuller with more creatures, then it would make sense to have that much mist because you can't see what's coming to you as element of danger. This doesn't add that much element of danger because you can hear creatures coming from far away. You just can't see where you're going.
Yeah.
You're literally just stumbling around.
Yeah.
You don't have to get battle ready because you know when the Jarl is coming from 5 kilometers away because you can hear him. And it's just lots of time just stumbling.
Yeah.
I do believe that once the queen is defeated, the mist balls should reduce to half, or there should be a power that pushes them away, like the queen power. Instead of regenning A tier, which it does poorly, it could do maybe just push
or maybe it does both. Away. Maybe you get the A tier regeneration, and you just have like this huge aura of demister zone around you. Oh, that's a good idea. Well,
that'd be nice.
Yeah. If you're listening, some just suggestions there, even though we got rid of what we changed in Valheim segment for this episode anyways.
Another thought or idea that just came to me as we were discussing this. One thing that I kind of agree with you, the mist at the moment is just, I kind of wish, and I feel like the first iteration of Mistlands, there was more moments where you would get like up high and you would actually see, like have a view. Right now, the last couple of times I've played Mistlands, I just felt like there's no point going anywhere or going up high to have a view because there would be no view. It would be just mist all around. So I don't know if they changed anything in the patches or what, but I agree with you. Like sometimes it's just so much that you don't get to appreciate the beauty of the biome, which is a bit of a shame. But one thing that I was thinking of is, you know how we've got a weather system in every biome, and you do get fog in the plains, which is always terrifying and really annoying. Or you get, lots of rain or different types of weather that make it harder to see at a distance, like snowstorms and so on in the mountains. Maybe with the Mistlands, they should do something where they reduce the mists that is there when it's normal good weather, but then they have like weather moments where suddenly the mist is really, really strong. Cool. Or, we do have storms, I think, in the mist, and that's pretty much the only weather that we get. The storms are really cool, but that's the only weather event that you get. You don't really get any other stuff like rain or anything like that. So maybe like almost a mist storm, or like the mist coming down and really obscuring the view at certain points. But most of the time, it lifting would be a cool way to still have both elements.
I did experience rain today on Mistlands, oddly.
Oh, okay.
I've never, and I was not alone. I experienced rains, and there was no other biome, and it was just rains, not storm. And we were,
that must be quite
both
rare.
looking at the sky and looking like, what? It's raining. There's no storm. There's nothing. Just regular rain.
And did it change the mist in any way, or was it the same amount?
No. Same thing. Nothing changed in the environment. Only the storm itself, and only the rain.
The rain. Okay.
And that was weird. But yeah, but it feels like the Mistlands, it went the opposite way of what you're saying. Instead of having a nice weather that pushes away mist, no, it has fog along with the mist, which is just awesome. To navigate with fog and the mist balls, you can't see anything. You're completely blind in there.
Yeah.
I have an interesting graphic here since you brought that up. One of our modder friends named Yurde posted this. And it is the percentage chance for each, like this is from the code. This is the percentage chance for each weather event to happen. I was meaning to do a video on this. I just haven't gotten around to it. But so if you see the Mistlands,
this is cool.
Most of the time it's clear. Then it does have a chance for rain, and it has a chance for thunderstorm. And it looks like they're about even, but very like small percentage chances.
I've never seen the rain before today. Or maybe I just never noticed it.
Yeah, and I cannot believe that the percentage probability of rain in the Mistlands is higher than one in the meadows, because I swear to God, every freaking time I'm in the meadows building, it freaking rains. And same with the ocean. Ocean, I feel like, Black Forest as well. But meadows specifically, because you hang out in the meadow for some chill time, but half the time it's raining.
Well, yeah, it has a light rain.
Especially when you're trying to build.
It has a light rain chance too there. Light rain, thunderstorm.
I see.
And then regular rain. So you have...
feels a lot more than like right now it looks like 80% clear or maybe 85% clear. It just feels...
So... Yeah, and he says actually that whenever there's a weather thing going on, that you can follow this graph up, and it should be that the weather above it and below. Like if you're on the ocean and you have rain in the ocean, that all these other environments should be that.
Really interesting.
I have not experienced.
Yeah,
weather forecast.
So
I was wondering that if there was any correlation between, and I was also wondering if it was depending on where you are on the map. Like if I didn't know it was biome dependent, and that the biomes were weather systems were connected in that sense. I thought that it was, if you're near spawn, the center of the map, you might get a different weather than if you're in the same biome but far away.
No, they all share weather.
Yeah, he's
all identical biomes share weather.
The whole world shares the weather based on this graph.
I see.
Yeah, like the Ashlands is always ash rain.
Yes.
Lovely.
So
let's see. Maybe soon that we'll have some extra colors going on in there. Ash rain, rock rain.
Well, yeah. Once they change,
melting lava rain.
So yeah, something's fun to bring up that I hadn't planned to share, but that we know when we're talking about it. Well, let's get into the teaser. We're going to get to that. But let's talk about the development blog that they released.
Yes.
Let's see.
Just this week.
Yeah. So well. First off, what do you guys think of the new clothes? There's two outfits right there. Look at that, Gwen. Aren't you wearing one of these right now that you mentioned?
Yes, I am. Okay. Is it my moment? Is it my moment to nerd out and be excited?
Go for it.
Yes.
The first thing, colors, bright colors. Yes. Thank you for acknowledging this true, authentic facts of early medieval times, which is people wore colors, especially Vikings. They love color. The Vikings love taking care of their appearance, looking fancy, and they had some of the best jewelry and crafts, whether it be embroidery or the jewelry that they would wear or the accessories that they would have. And I'm so glad that they incorporate that. Finally, look at this, a Thor pendant on the guy on the left.
I love that.
Yeah.
With glass beads. And on the lady on the right, there's a nice little kind of, it's a hood. I think it might be like, a hood, but without the headpiece, or shawl, I guess. And it's interesting because it's green with red. So I think it's supposed to be green on the outside with red lining inside. And yes, because if you wear wool just on your skin, it's scratchy, right? So you would line things with linen most of the time. And then this beautiful penannular brooch that looks like it's made of brass or maybe copper. Probably more brass would be more common. And it's like the one I'm wearing here. It helps like holding things like cloaks and so on together. It's very versatile, very useful. Mine is just made out of forged iron. And then all the shiny bangles that they have, because Vikings actually used that as currency. Because at the time coins weren't really so much of a thing, because especially for trade, when you're trading with different countries and they have like different coin was not yet established as a very kind of universal way of trading money. So what the Vikings did instead was they would wear those bangles of either gold, silver, or other precious metals. And they would use that as currency because you can weigh them easily and like their weight. So if they were trading, they could either give one away or chip bits of it away, of the weight of the thing that they're trading, the currency that they're trading for. And so they used to have those cool looking bangles that were usually made out of silver was very common. Belts with nice buckle and buckle ends. You can see a little bit at the end there. There's buckle ends. The Vikings loved shiny stuff, so they would always add beautifully kind of engraved and worked metal things. So yeah, on their belts they would always have cool belt ends. What else? Yeah, as I said, beautiful colors, embroidery. So on the yellow tunic, you can see around the neck. And around the cuffs, there's like a trim of something of a different color. So that could have been a trim that would be like sewn on, or it could be embroidered. At the bottom, you've got this motif, which is most likely kind of embroidery. And it's just, I'm just so happy because it's nice. A nice interpretation of actual Viking wear with lots of bright colors and something that is not just armor and war gear.
Yeah.
And I am so glad because we've been talking about it. We've been mentioning it, saying, how it'd be so cool that since you can dye banners, maybe we can dye our clothes as well and have different items and different things. And I'm really excited to see all that. Yeah,
and I think those are going to be dyeable. I think we're going to be able to select the colors on this clothing.
I hope so. Actually, what you were showing around the wrists, that could be, I wonder if they added, or like around the neck as well. It might not be embroidered. It might be tablet weaving, which was another very common.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah, I think that might be a tablet weaved kind of trim. And tablet weaving is, it's basically weaving like an inkle loom, a thin strip of wool yarn, and you can make some really cool kind of graphic motifs through it. Except tablet weaving, they were not using an inkle loom because that came centuries later. They were using like tablet cards, most of the time of wood or bone, and each card would have a bunch of holes with loads of yarn of different colors going through, and the way you twist the card and then weave the trim of tablet thingy basically that is how you would weave the different motifs. It's quite complicated, and I feel like I would love to learn one day if I had lots of time, but it seems quite confusing as well. And it takes a lot of time. Yes, that would be cool. I know it takes a lot of time, so tablet, but it was also quite easy to make because the materials it's just wool yarn, so it's readily available. And you can make some really cool, I might have an example to show you. Hold on a second. I'll let you guys comment while I go search for my things.
Okay, yeah, we'll go through some of the blog here. So they just talked. They were thanking us for anybody who did the public test for Mistlands because it really helped them with bug fixes. Yeah. And then on to the future. So we're going to see here some of the creatures that are going to be in the Mistlands. Oh, but except Gwen has her thing already. Let's take a look at Gwen.
So this is an example of beautiful tablet weaving.
Ooh. How is that made?
And
is that
so? No. So it's. Go on. You can explain.
So you'll have like a loop that you have a series of pieces of yarn or yarn string that are hanging down from, and then you string a card basically that will. The most common is to have a square card with a hole on each corner, and you string each thread through each one of those holes, and then you have different cards that goes across that will have 4 threads each. And then you just rotate the card in a particular direction to, basically it's twisting the threads together in such a way that will bring a particular color up to the top. And then you bring another thread back and forth through every time you rotate to get the warp and weft of the weave.
Wow. That's really cool looking. And so that thing that you have there, Gwen, what would that particular piece be used for?
I bought it to make a sort of not a belt, but like something that would act as a belt. But usually they could actually have them as belts most of the time because leather is readily accessible. But sometimes it's nicer. You could get some nice motifs and so on. And if you've got time on your hands, you can make a tablet weave belt for cheaper. So they would use them as belts. They would use them as trims. So you could add that to add a trim to your cuffs.
Oh, that would look embellish great on my blue tunic at the end.
Exactly. So you could have that there. You could have that around the neckline again to add some nice motif, or at the bottom hem. But most common would be around the cuffs, and also around the neckline, because those are quite small. You can easily add, either embroidery or that, without spending too much time on it. The bottom hem, you would need to spend a lot of time making a really long tablet weave thing so that you can trim all of that.
It takes time, but it doesn't take that much time. You're making it sound like it takes forever.
If you want to make a neat, like this one is beautiful. It's like so nicely made. It's so neat, really cool. And it's very regular. Like it does look like it's been made by someone who's very experienced. If any Joe Schmuck tried, like me, and tried to make that, it would not look this nice. It would look very irregular. What takes time is like practicing and mastering that craft. And I mean, it's like, it's one of those things. Weaving does take a long time if you do it by hand.
Yeah.
But this was like a cut. I cut about a third of the whole roll that the trader had to sell. I just needed that for my belt, but and it's very expensive because it is handmade and so on. Well, it is expensive now to buy.
So
not many people know how to tablet weave.
Yeah, my tunic is, the sleeves are so long that it comes all the way down past my hand. And I roll it up.
You need to hem them.
No, but I'm planning on doing that. But now that I see that tablet weave, I want to get something like that when I sit down to do the adjustment. when I cut it off and hem it up. Now I want to add something like that too. I think it would look great.
All right, Jiroc,
Yes.
we really need to talk. We really need to spend some time together.
Exactly.
IRL.
MD, what are you doing? You need to make him like some nice tablet weaved
That'd be
trims
awesome.
and
Clearly.
you need to dress up our Jiroc.
Yeah. So let's see. Well, we started the update, but there's so much to talk about. We haven't gotten very far. But yeah, no, we did cover this picture in detail. That's really cool. All these details. And it's nice hearing about all the little accents and the jewelry and all the little different things about it. But yeah, so they dropped Ashlands, being more transparent, wanting to show us the development, and they dropped the Charred. Look at that. Isn't that
wild?
Amazing.
This needs a zoom in because this is totally different from the skeletons in the game. Like they are literally burning, embers on the inside, and their old corroded swords. This was like the standard one with the one-handed sword. And look at this. What's going on with this one? Why does it have a skull embedded in its chest and on its shoulder?
Do you think that's like multiple creatures that have been melded together from heat?
Yeah. There you go. That's a good speculation there.
Exactly.
It starts to go into the realm of Cthulhian mythos.
Horror.
When you look at this stuff, this is the nightmares from the Cthulhian mythos, especially the next creature that I'll show you. And then, of course, there's like a mage or necromancer version.
Yeah.
Of it, which shows us there's going to be more magic, right?
More magic.
Yeah.
Blood magic, more blood magic, or maybe a different kind of magic.
I'm guessing a different kind of magic, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe more arcane. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then, and they called them the Charred. So good guess or speculation by Morning over there that saying maybe they've been burnt together.
Or maybe they're just a
So
dropper
gross.
that wander off into the Ashlands. They just stay there for too long.
All the flesh has been burnt away.
Yeah.
They're a bit crispy now.
Yeah.
Or maybe these are
druggers.
family members or tribe members, and they grab their heads and say, "You're coming with me," because their regular bodies been destroyed. To get really creepy with it. Yeah, so that's the Charred. Pretty cool. Amazing that they dropped this so early in this much detail.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get that much for the Mistlands. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, well, you know how we had the prediction of, when we're thinking about when they might be dropping Mistlands. And I was actually talking on Twitch chat the other night. I was, speculating the same thing. And Smithwick came in. I'm like, hey, so Ashlands? And he's like, oh gosh, no, like that's going to take at least 6 or 8 months, and we haven't even gotten started yet. And then this comes in, I'm like, I see you, Smithy.
Yeah.
I see you.
Started.
I see you.
That's funny. And then the next creature is the really Cthulhian looking creature here. Let me open it up and zoom in on this thing. Check this out. So
That is absolutely gross.
If anybody's just listening, does somebody want to explain what this thing looks like? If you can, try to explain what this thing looks like to people just listening.
Imagine a spider, but you rip out half of their legs, and then you replace their face by a bunch of skeletons and teeth, skelly heads, like skulls and teeth. And then you stick out some bones out of their body. Is what it looks
To me,
like.
it looks like a hole in the cemetery just came to life and sprawled legs and arms.
Well, if you look,
Yeah.
there's like teeth going all the way down the center line too.
Yes.
The skulls are teeth.
Yeah.
The skulls are in the shape of teeth as well.
Yeah, but down the middle line is what I'm saying. This little,
like its underbelly could open up and swallow
yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's like
that's
a
what I'm saying.
sandworm. It's like a sandworm from like Star Wars or Dune, but it's just made out of flesh and bones.
Will it have
It's
a
so
projectile
gross.
mandible like the alien?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's disgusting.
it's opening up and I'm going to eat you with my little head.
Yeah. pretty wild to use. There's 3 skulls like in the upper teeth, like they're part of the upper teeth somehow.
Or maybe they're the eyes. I don't know.
Maybe they're the teeth and the eyes.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying thought. It's watching you right as it eats you up close.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
And so,
skulls.
What's that, Gwen?
Morning. What did you think of its name?
Oh yeah. Well, how do you know how it's pronounced, right? It's not Morgan, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I actually had this conversation with Smithy, and we were actually having a great conversation about mythology and whatnot, just as like a side conversation. It was actually really a lot of fun. And so he's actually sent me a link for the Wikipedia, and it's pronounced Moraine because it's Welsh.
Oh,
Moraine.
Moraine, not Morgan. It's Moraine.
Everybody's going to call it Morgan though, because
I know.
Wait, what did you say? Because it's
like
because
there's
it's
more
Welsh.
rain.
Welsh, really?
Oh yeah, Welsh.
Yeah, and so it's a Welsh name that is sea related. So it's actually more along the lines of what like the Britain legend would call them sirens.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went down a rabbit hole about that, but that was fun. But that is not important here, so I will not go down that rabbit hole with you guys.
But it doesn't look like
it doesn't, which cracked me up because he sent me this link and I'm like, that is not what we are looking at, sir.
No, this looks like a crab has lost a couple of legs and had its head ripped apart and replaced by skulls and teeth.
Yep. By a maw filled of a pit of skulls. Yeah. But I believe that based on the link that he sent me, that this should be pronounced Moraine.
Okay, interesting.
Cool.
I just want to see how this creature is going to move because although it has 2 legs and 2 arms, it seems like it's quadrupedal. Can walk on all 4 limbs.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I am not looking forward to that animated.
I think that this thing is gonna jump, and it's gonna jump far, and it's gonna have a swallowing mechanic. I'm super convinced on these things.
Where it's like on the upper half of your head and body, and you just see your legs as it's trying to devour you.
Yep.
Kind of like the tick attaches itself to you. Maybe this will attach itself to you.
They're just giving me more things to cringe at. Like I hated the Desquitos, and then the Yalls just give me the super creeps, and the ticks just make my skin crawl every time. And this is going to be so much worse.
It feels like they're going really down the horror route, like horror, gross. Yeah, I feel like Grimcore has influenced with his aesthetics of the creepy, dark.
Well, he is developing
macabre.
a horror game, right, of his own called.
I know. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else is in this. Another look at the clothes. Let me open this up and
amazing
let the geeking go on.
Yes, Gwen geeking pod 2.
So this is really interesting because the jewelry has changed. So before, the woman had the brooch and the man had an armband and a bangle and a necklace. And in this one, the man has a brooch. Or the I'm calling it the wrong name.
No, it's a brooch.
It's a brooch.
A cloak pin or a brooch.
Cloak pin, yeah. And then the woman has a bracelet, and then she has the
beads. I have some too. Yeah. She has turtle brooches or tortoise brooches that would be used to pin up. I think I showed them like when we did the face reveal and I was wearing a Viking like outfit. Basically those brooches keep up the apron dress the straps. You attach the straps to the body part. And then in the middle, you've got a nice line of glass beads, which I can also demonstrate because I've got some lovely ones as well. Lovely glass Viking glass beads.
Oh, wow.
Which was, again, it's a craft that was very well developed by the Scandinavians and the Anglo-Saxons. And that kind of disappeared after that, at least in England, because the Normans had no clue how to work glass. And it's kind of a shame because this is beautiful. And that tradition kind of disappeared somewhat, at least in Western Europe, until some centuries later, the medieval people managed to work glass again. But yeah, beautiful glass beads that would be hung up in between the turtle and held by the turtle brooches.
Beautiful.
These ones.
And these are so different from the previous, and there are different colors. And so, like they're really developing this.
Mm-hmm.
I am interested to see where this goes.
Totally feeling a vanity item slot. Like we have.
I am. I'm going to be the.
You're going to have a vanity as well.
I'm going to start. I'm going to start amassing coin for buying all the shinies. Save loads of stock of coins. Because I'm guessing, do you think we're going to craft those items?
I think so. I think crafting them would make sense. Although buying them would also make sense. But Gwen, I have a black metal chest almost completely full of gold. So
well, maybe the ice cream cart that you owe me. We could negotiate something.
Oh, I'm more than halfway done with the cart too.
Oh, really? Oh, but again, like as we're looking at the detail, so again, that brass or maybe gold even cloak pin and the green kind of a little mini cloak, which is kind of weird. Like normally you would have like a full-on cloak. You wouldn't have just a shawl or something that just covers unless it's a
that actually looks like a full cloak, Gwen.
Yeah, see,
is it?
It's clipping into the chair here.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's like a half cloak or something.
Maybe.
Now, I've got a question for you guys.
Hard to tell.
This basically means that we will have from now on, or from this release, male and female clothing. Male specific and female specific. What do you guys think? Will we have two different items, or will it be an item that changes according to the user?
Oh, well, good question.
I think these are different outfits too, because they're different colors, they're different styles, they're different decoration. We've got some looking of tablet flower tablet weaving on the bottom of the dress on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
like two dresses.
Yeah, no, there's an underdress and an overdress. You see, the blue one is the dress, and then over it you've got the apron dress, which is the darker one that's held up by the brooches. So yeah, it's two layers, but you should also have like an underdress under that.
Yeah, well, but I'm sure that this will just be an outfit that you craft or get.
Oh well, I don't know. Maybe you combine. Maybe you do get to have like choose a color of the dress and then of the apron dress on top.
I can't imagine that coding of that would be fun.
I mean, if it's multiple different objects, if you're adding, like if you might be able to just wear the dress without the thing on top of it.
Maybe.
The game already does something similar to this with the Aether Wave.
The
Aether Wave covers you all the way to the feet, and it has pants underneath.
Yep.
So it's two layered pieces of clothing.
It is layered. Yeah, you're right. Well, the padded armor is like that too.
Okay. We already have some indications of layering. So I'm guessing this is going to be a layered piece as well.
Yeah.
Still don't know if they're going to be making male specific and female specific items.
It'll be interesting to see. What is that in her hand? Or is that just a chair behind?
No, that's the that's the chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's a good point to bring up of whether it's everyone's going to be able to don the outfit, or if this will only be female specific. They don't let females have beards, so maybe they won't let the males have the dresses either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll release the beards for female and dresses for males as well.
Yeah.
It can go either way.
And then they announced that there's going to be an NPC in the game called Hilder or Hilder Quest, but there's going to be not like an MMO quest mechanic where there's going to be a bunch of NPCs with quests for you to do around the world. There's going to be a single interesting quest mechanic involved.
That to change the hair.
Yeah, okay. I got a little bird whispered in my ear and said, "Yeah, it's not going to be like you would expect from like MMOs or something, but it's going to be very interesting. But I can't even hint at it because it'll spoil it because it's really cool." So.
Don't say anything.
Yeah,
I'm predicting a barber shop in Valheim, like Haldor. Haldor's cousin is coming over to open a barber shop.
Didn't we literally say that? Like, when was it? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
I think
there should be.
I feel like I mentioned this.
So you could change your hairstyle. Yeah.
Yeah, that we should be able to go to the barber and change the hairstyle.
Yep. And that's what the NPC is going to do, a way for you to restyle your existing character's hair. And I'm assuming hair and beard.
Interesting.
And along with some kind of interesting quest associated with that character. So that's cool. Let's see. And then they showed some build of the months. Very nice log cabin. Very cool. And these are always great to look at just to get inspiration for your own builds. Some kind of weird looking dragon house. That's really cool too. Giant dragon head. And then like a cliff house or a rock, built along the cliff.
Yeah, beautiful rocks. Castle.
Very pretty. Yeah, very pretty.
So the first one was built by Hello Heli, which I'm not familiar with. The second one was built by Mythic Builds, which has a YouTube channel and has incredible, very creative builds, like very fantasy, like very mythical, I guess. And then the third one, the Mistlands Castle, was built by The Basic Builder, who's also a YouTuber and has a great channel. And he did a showcase of his Mistlands port and build recently as well.
And he frequents our Discord server.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, very beautiful build there going on.
Beautiful.
Yep. Cool. So that's that in the news. And let's see what else I got here. We got a couple of other things. Oh, yeah.
There was a Twitter post.
Yeah. You want to talk about that, MD?
Yeah, so let's talk about this because the Ballista has also been a fairly polarizing creation. Because it just targets anything. And when I saw this, it was funny because the Ballista says the Ballista hates deer. And then the character goes up and touches something. Yes. And all of a sudden it says Ballista hates everything. Yeah,
let me show that.
And then it shoots you.
Yeah, Ballista hates
deer.
Oop, kills a deer. Ballista hates everything.
So, but if you look at the very bottom, there's a new feature that target with trophy.
Yeah.
So basically, you're gonna have to load it with trophies. That's what it says to me.
To decide on the targeting. So if you load a Grey Dwarf trophy, it will only kill Grey Dwarfs.
Sounds like it.
Maybe
that's a smart way to do it.
That's a very cool way to interesting way, because then that gives the players choices. And then you could have multiple ballistas set up and have each one set to target the different things that matter to you. So then you'd still have uses for trophies. And I was watching someone else's, I think it was Firespark's content, and he was saying that he actually reached out and asked, does this mean that the trophy is used? And I think the response he got was, that might be a bit harsh.
Yeah. Shoots one and then that trophy's gone. Yeah.
Right. So, it'll be interesting to see what this develops into, because I know this is a development thing, not even in the public test branch.
Well, one of the problems that actually introduces is you have to leave it on target everything at first. Otherwise, it's not going to shoot your enemies until you get their trophy. So it's like the chicken and the egg. You can't shoot the enemy without its trophy. You can't get the trophy without shooting it. So
yeah.
Oh, what about the chicken and the egg? There's a clear answer for that now. The age-old question has been answered.
Yep, and it is
the egg. That's the first thing you get at Aldor.
Yep. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
You need the egg to get the chicken. Simple. Valheim solved the problem.
He just magically spawns them in.
That's it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. It's change. It'll be. I think players will like having something different there. And then
one thing that this another problem that it introduces is for people who play in PvP mode, you can't have a Viking trophy. So you would have to have it set at it hitting everything if you wanted it to target other players.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Which would shoot you and your friends.
I mean, but in all honesty, like if you've set the ballista, you know what the firing arc is. You can just avoid that.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe they'll do some integration with the wards at some point, because I think that's what most people are crying for. Some kind of opt-in, opt-out wouldn't be too hard, I think.
Yeah, like a ward. I thought you were going to say they were going to introduce Viking trophies. So you can
that would be horrible.
And mount your friend's head on the wall. or
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Maybe that's what the Chard did. They've got the Viking trophy like embedded on their shoulder.
Oh no!
We're gonna have Bambi here. I'm gonna have a space for Bambi right here.
Their fallen friend. They just look down and go, take skull, put on. Now you roll with me.
Gross.
Doc, Bambi.
Yeah.
We can fit all of them right here. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny. See me with my big beard hanging down on your shoulder. My beard's hanging down over your shoulder.
Well, you know what they say: keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Oh man!
Inside your skeleton, if possible. Well, fact.
Right.
And then Jonathan dropped this, which I showed a sneak peek of earlier, which is the Ballista.
Oh, that's cool.
Black metal.
He said
3D printed.
Yeah, I think he says a friend just printed it for him. So not something that they would put in their store just yet, but like I've seen on Etsy 3D prints of all kinds of stuff. The portal, the ward, a bunch of different animals and other things in the game, the statues. It's like, I want all that. I want that
so
Ballista.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I'd have fun painting that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bust out our miniature paints and paint these things would be a lot of fun. So actually, as a matter of fact, when they released their, I have to be honest, when they released their merch store, I was a little disappointed. I'm just like, just t-shirts and clothes and things like that. I want this. I want fluffy, plush necks and 3D printed objects from the game. But maybe in time.
Yep. Hopefully they will expand their range. Of products.
I know a lot of companies and like comic books and cartoons and movies and stuff. They partner with a toy manufacturer, like was it Todd McFarlane or one of the other toy manufacturers that do like really highly specialized action figures and 3D prints and things like this. It would be fun if they could partner up with a toy company to do all of their prints, 3D printed objects. And a toy company could actually make them have moving parts too, if they wanted. You could set this up on your desk and shoot people when they walk up behind you. Target enemies.
All right. Interesting stuff.
I think that's all the news.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah. We got a couple of new videos that we post in case you missed it. On my channel, I got 3 new videos up between this podcast and the last one. I keep getting asked in my comments, this is probably one of the lowest views I ever got on a video, but it's okay. This is just a helpful one because it got like 300 or 400 views, which is fine. Just so many people ask me. Now I could just link to this video. Like, how do I turn on my console? How do I turn on my console so I can do the command? So I just made a quick video. It's now on there, how to activate F5.
And it's short and sweet. So I think that's going to actually get some traffic as time goes on.
Yeah.
Because people will look that up, and it's just a very nice and easy. Here's the how-to. It's right there.
Yeah, especially when they attract new players with each big update and the final release. Caching all these videos, hundreds of videos for the 1.0 release and the new audience that comes in. I did another video called "This Creature Can Use the Portal Too." Gwen's favorite creature.
Finally. No. Well, I love that you actually showed people what this looks like. I was super delighted.
Yeah, it was fun. I heard people saying that they had used the portal to try to get away and that they ended up dying on the other side. And a friend of mine who just came back to Valheim because of Ashlands, that's the first thing he said. He says, or the Mistlands. He said, because of Mistlands. He said, the Mistlands is now a horror game. And when I ran through my portal to get away, I died on the other side because they came with me. So if you want to know what creature that is, go check out the video. And then I did a video on the Ashlands sneak peek in the blog update where I just go through everything and show it, kind of like we did here. Let's see. That was mine. Gwen, I see you have something to announce for your videos.
Yeah, so I didn't do any edited videos since the last couple ones that I mentioned around Christmas time. However, I've done a couple of streams and I am now committing to a stream schedule.
Yay!
The thing that usually streamers start with, I just had such a hard time committing because my work is always busy and keeps me busy late during weekdays, and on weekends I also have a lot of things going on, and in general for me, it's streaming is more of a fun thing to do, and I also was I didn't want it to turn into a chore or to work. And sometimes I'm not really in the mood for streaming. Sometimes I want to just focus on other stuff like editing and so on. So I've been really avoiding committing to a schedule for the longest time. But I did a poll a couple of weeks ago where I was asking, with the new year starting, like what sort of content would people want to see more of on my channel? And one of the options was like a regular streaming cadence or schedule, and that was the top most voted option. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna provide a regular stream schedule. So I'm committing to streaming every Thursday at 8 p.m. my time in the UK. So it's about 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific, and then 9 p.m. for our European friends. So Thursday nights now, it's blocked in my calendar. I'm not seeing friends. I'm not watching
Only
Netflix.
way you can do it.
I've blocked it. I've blocked my Tuesday nights because Tuesday nights is Podheim recording, and Thursday nights now in my work calendar, which means my lovely colleagues on the West Coast cannot book meetings past a certain time because I have commitments now. So that's it. That's a big thing I've done. So I've done my first scheduled stream last week, which was just running around having fun in the Mistlands.
Eating honey.
Eating, yes.
Honey in the Mistlands.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay. I know. So
the food of champions.
I noticed something. So I think a lot of the people who watch my streams either watch to watch me die and laugh at me or watch so that they can basically keep an eye on what I'm doing and then rage when I eat stupid stuff or I do stupid things. And MD clearly falls into that category of like probably shouting at her screen like, Gwen, what are you doing? Why are you eating honey? Why are you doing this? Why you were using a copper knife in a Yagluth fight? So I feel like there's that kind of two categories of people who watch my streams.
I feel like you're a huge fan of early game and you've played it so much that you just don't think about progressing anymore.
No, but also it's kind of fun because it's more of a challenge. I know, honestly, I've played with full padded gear. I find it a little bit boring. I'm not very good at combat. But the fact that you can just with one swing of whatever weapon in late stage kill pretty much anything it takes away a lot of the kind of the stakes. So I add the stakes back in by running around
using a bunch of crap.
Is that what you're doing? Got it.
Eating honey.
I like your strategy, Gwen.
Honey and mushrooms.
Method to your madness.
AKA, I am also a bit of a masochist, but so I stream now every Thursday. I also did. We talked about it already, so I'll pass on that. But I also joined in on the Chaos stream on Sunday, which was great fun. Although I was only half awake for that, so it didn't help. But yeah, I think the stream coming up this week, which will have already been in the past, and since this released on Friday, will probably be part 2 of streaming with my sister. I did a stream on New Year's Eve with my sister where we tried to. So she hadn't gone through all the bosses, so we restarted the bosses from the beginning, and we got stuck at bone mass. Mostly because I was getting seriously hangry because we hadn't eaten dinner yet, and also we were just like constantly dying and we were very ill-equipped for bone mass, so we ended up rage quitting pretty much.
You guys went in with edged weapons and I thought, this is going to be hilarious.
So one of those occurrences of people watching to just basically curse at me in my stream because I'm being stupid. So we abandoned that fight. We're like, okay, let's just go eat, and we had been streaming for like 5 hours by that point as well. So we decided to call it quits, give Bone Mass its victory for this time, but we will come back for revenge, and that revenge might come this Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Streaming Valheim every Thursday at 8 p.m. GMT,
Yay.
3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Gwen the Shield Maiden on YouTube. Check it out.
Come join and come curse at me when I eat honey or try to fight bone mass with an axe.
Yeah. And MD, what about you? What videos have you been getting up?
Well, as we've already talked about, we did the Chaos stream. So that was wild and fun. And then I did another episode for the date night series with my husband. We're finally building in the Mistlands, and I'm just going out and gathering supplies and then bringing them back to my husband so that he can do his creepy wizard tower build. And it's starting to come out super cool. I'm very intrigued to see where he takes it, and it's looking really good. I'm excited. I was trying to talk to him about integrity and how iron beams work and how that changes the stability of the marble and whatnot. And I'm realizing I don't understand it enough to be able to describe it. I understand it intuitively enough to be able to fix things, but also, I've also been starting my tower build for the competition that will be tomorrow.
Yep.
Shoot. Technically I have a structure that is taller than the requirements, so I have a something.
There you go.
I have a something. So I'm going to be definitely cramming to get that sorted and put together, hopefully by tomorrow, and I'll be streaming that. And but anyway, so I'm realizing I understand it intuitively, and also if you try to stack marble on top of stone, marble will not be supported by stone that is orange or worse. So it's a very interesting dichotomy, and it's an interesting material to work with.
Like it's heavier or something, and it needs something stronger than stone. Interesting.
Yep.
Cool. Let's see. We have a couple of new members this week. Didn't we, MD?
Yeah. So I mean, we haven't really talked about the new members for more than a month. So sorry to all of you who have joined in last month and we haven't name mentioned. But for this past week, we would like to welcome Malkin. Let's see here, Super Roger 11, Weavus. Welcome to the server. I hope you guys have a fantastic time on all the different options that you have by supporting Jiroc's Patreon and the content that he creates.
Yeah, welcome to the server. Thanks for your support. And it's always interesting.
Can't wait to see what you do.
It's interesting to see how they find their way to us, whether it be from a stream of one of yours or some old video of mine or some new video. Yeah. People have different interests, and it's fun to welcome all different play styles to the server. And Gorth, you did a big event on the server for the Great Folding, right? We had the resource server Great Folding. How did that go?
Just last Monday. Last Monday we had the folding and the unfolding on the resource server, and two of our aliases. One of mine and one of Bambi's. The Undead General and Hell, we hosted a little event for the players. Not always to be just fighting events. We did like a little scavenger, kind of like a scavenger hunt, where they would have to find 4 words written across the spawn island. They were all marked with individual markers with different spawned-in items, so that they would be kind of visible from afar. And with a time challenge, if they complete the correct sentence, not just gathering the words, then a ball of mist would be formed there on spawn, and it would be a little bit harder for them to navigate. But luckily, the Vikings got pulled through. They got their words, and they got the sentence right just in the nick of time.
Wow. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, something different than just like spawn a bunch of mobs and kill them all, right?
Yeah.
Like a little bit of an Easter egg hunt, it sounds like, and then a little bit of piecing the words together. Yeah. That's awesome. Nice. And I assume there were a few mobs to fight, though, that were spawned in? No? Just the Easter egg hunt?
Just the pure Easter egg hunt. Nothing to fight. There was 1 or 2 creatures spawned in the end, but it was just after the event was done, just as a goof. As part of the event, there were no creatures at all.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we have these wonderful admins and several other wonderful admins, and everyone helps out in different ways, and several of them do events, and a couple of them are making quests now for Jotun Quest, the modded server, now that it's all of our technical problems are solved. Knock on
all of them forever.
We're done. No more problems ever.
Funny.
But so let's talk about this week's tips and tricks. We got some tips and tricks to offer to the players out there. MD, would you like to start to give the players some knowledge so that they can survive Valheim better?
We've only done this segment twice, right?
Once or twice. Yep.
Okay, cool. Because I feel like now that I'm rereading
what we suggested.
I know. Okay, so if you set a refined ether ball down next to an extractor box, it'll crack open the box safely, and it won't agitate the dwerger.
Oh! How did you discover that one?
You mean the box inside the dwerger buildings?
That crates?
The crate?
Or inside of the carts that they've got. Yeah, if you just put an ether box down next to that or an ether ball next to the glowing box that's very
Mhm.
clearly containing an extractor. Just like one hit from the ether ball, it breaks open the box and you've got an extractor.
Because it damages physical structures as well. That's
Ah, that's
one.
good.
Very good
That's
one.
a really good tip because I don't like killing voters. They're
I
nice.
don't either.
They're
I don't want to be the
friendlies.
bad guy. Exactly. I don't want to be the
No.
baddie and kill the nice, friendly NPCs to get their
Nice.
stuff.
They shot me in the back. How are they nice? That was passing
Because
by
you
them.
shot them first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, I know
No.
it was you in
With
the
your
trees.
fireball.
No, I was helping. I failed a little bit to the run, but yeah, they shot me in the back.
Just one misfire,
Nice.
you know?
Yep.
He put you back
So
in your
judgmental,
place.
those guys. They're very judgmental. There's no room for error with them. You miss your shot, you're done. You die in their eyes. You're dead.
That's a good tip there. That one's going to have to find its
Very
way
good
into
one.
a quick little video, a little
Ooh.
tips and tricks video. I like that one.
There's something similar to that one that you can do that came to mind straight away. Pufferfish. Use a pufferfish to deal with your
Yes.
enemies.
But the pufferfish, so if you want to clear a tower of the dwerger without aggroing them, you can throw a pufferfish or a couple of pufferfish into the tower
Mhm.
and then just like push the dwerger onto the fish.
I'm writing that down on our script right now. That's awesome.
that sounds like various.
I was going to save that for
ways.
the next week, but
Yeah, it just sounds like ways to torture the poor dwergers that didn't really. It's like, when playing
For Haldor
Sims,
not giving a discount.
Well, it's like
Like,
semantics,
different
right?
ways
Like
of
you don't want to
killing your
kill
Sims.
something, but you get something else to kill it. So like when Dipstick's watching the stream and you don't want to kill all those necks, you throw a pufferfish at him. You go, it wasn't me. This was the pufferfish.
No, we can find out how those deers died.
well, what I really
Maybe
want to
shoot
do is I want to see the next Grey Dwarf farm having Grey Dwarves fall into a pit of pufferfish.
All item stands everywhere.
We need to
Just
stop.
a
I'm
line.
telling you, Valheim is pushing us to be the bad guys in the story.
Have you guys seen the humane chicken killer?
The humane
No.
chicken killer.
Was that the one with the obliterator in the middle of the chicken farm? Yeah, that's Wendy's
Oh.
face. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that is brutal.
Everything becomes red.
Yeah,
It's
there's
just
Yeah.
a flash of red
blotches
everywhere.
That's horrifying.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
The humane thing to do. It's quick, painless, and super funny.
I mean,
All right,
yeah.
Gorth. All right, Gorth, what's your tip?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So my tip is a bit safer and not as damageable. Well, it's actually less damageable. So I found out something actually in Jotun Quest, and this was kind of by accident. I found out kind of a mechanic inside Valheim. Land and base events only happen if you're on land. So, what you can do, build your base near water, place a raft on the water, build your base around that. Want to go AFK? Jump on the raft. There's no raids.
Oh, wow.
The game doesn't count you as being on land or as even being on water or being on the base.
So it's like you're
counts
not
you as
there.
being in the ocean.
According to
Yep.
the game.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
You
Oh,
will
that's
get
You can
there
do that
will
with
get air events. The bad event, that's the only one that you will get.
Oh, you will
Okay.
still get
Everything
the
else-
bad event though?
yeah.
That's the only single one. And this one was tested by me over a month of sitting inside, mainly sitting inside a boat. And no
Interesting.
events whatsoever. And we had other people coming in, and the only times that we had triggered events was when people were jumping out of the boats and walking around. When everyone was inside the boat, no events whatsoever.
Wow.
Good tip
There you
for
go.
AFK.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, a lot of times you don't want to shut down, especially with the modded server, you don't want to necessarily have to shut down the game to, run out for 5 or 10 minutes and come back. And if you go AFK, you might get a raid. because the modded server takes just a little bit longer to load. And actually, the way we've refined 2.0, it takes a lot less time to load. Before, it used to take like 7, 8, 10 minutes to load. But yeah, no, now it's a little quicker, but still no raids except for the bats. And I guess the bats don't do much structural damage, right?
No, as long as you're in a place that is airtight, it's completely safe.
Yeah,
it's 100% safe.
Yeah. I see a lot of people are putting their animals indoors, right?
Yeah. And you can go a lot of people in the same place and it will not trigger any raids. I've had like 4 or 5 people sitting in boats in the same place for a long time, hours, not minutes, hours, and nothing.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
Nice one. I like that tip.
Completely discovered by mistake.
And
all right then,
Gwen, what's your tips and tricks for the game? Use crap weapons and armor to make it more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the tip. No, I don't play the game enough to really have good tips and tricks. Although what I did find out, because I tried to test it myself, the other day I logged on to one of our servers to go to the resource server actually to mine some Yggdrasil wood and other things from the Mistlands. And there was a Dverger building that had been half cleared, and the only mages left was one outside the base that got killed by a Jarl while I was there. And then there were 2 mages in the basement, but the staircase going down to the basement had been destroyed, I'm guessing, in a previous kind of Jarl attack or whatever. And I was basically trying to harvest. I was thinking, if I get the Jarl or other mobs to come and all the mages themselves to try to destroy their building, I'm going to harvest all the copper and the marble, because I just didn't have the time or the materials to build the thing to destroy it myself. And with a pickaxe, it would have taken ages. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'll try to kite some mobs and see what happens. And there was a first Jarl who did destroy a couple of things, but he got killed too quickly by the mage and myself. So then the only 2 other mages that I needed to take care of were in the basement. And I thought maybe I can use the mage's power, get them to shoot up somehow, and maybe that will destroy their building. Little did I know, the Dverger mage's magic doesn't actually damage black marble, so I did all of that for nothing. Other than less
that does.
It does.
Well, it did nothing to that building that I was trying to get them to destroy. So maybe it doesn't destroy their own building. Maybe because a wall was up or something.
It does. They when you go into a Dwerger tower and they're attacking bugs around you, if you're being attacked by seekers or seeker soldiers, they will obliterate their own building just trying to aim at the enemy. So
I tried. It did not work on mine. Maybe they were not going at it enough, but essentially I did a stupid. I went, so the staircase, mind you, the staircase was destroyed. There was only like one kind of rock pillar that I could get down to see in the basement. And they were not aggroed on me at the beginning because I had just logged in there. But I thought, you know what, since I'm kind of up there, maybe I'll try to shoot the ward, like try to destroy the ward with an arrow. And also I had never tried to aggro the mages, so I was a bit curious about it. So I started shooting at the wards. They popped up loads of the warning messages saying, stop this, enough of that. And I was surprised how long it takes. I shot at least 10 arrows before they finally aggroed me. And I thought, because I was kind of slightly hidden in part by the flooring, I thought that somehow they would not hit me, but they did. And one hit killed me. It was pretty brutal. So then I was dead with it was my character with all the good gear as well. So I was like, shoot, great. Now my grave is down in the basement that I can't get to because there is no stairs. And also those 2 mages are aggroed on me. I have no idea how I'm going to retrieve my stuff. I guess I'm going to just take advantage of the no skill drain and try to aggro them further so that they keep shooting up and keep destroying the building. So I did that for a while. I died 10 times in a row. I'm not kidding. I really died about 10 times. Actually, as I got hit the first time, as I died and the dying animation the fading out to black started, I saw that there was a skeleton surprise as well that triggered on my location. So I was like, great. Trying to get to my body with loads of skellies running around me is going to be fun. So then I thought, you know what, maybe that will work in my favor. Maybe I'll get the mages to aggro on the skeletons and destroy the base and so on. So I was trying to do that. I was kiting the skeletons who ended up all coming inside the tower and kind of getting stuck there for a while. And so my death loop started. So I was either getting killed by the mages or getting killed by the skeletons. And I was desperately trying to get them to aggro each other and getting them to hit the marble, but they didn't. And they didn't destroy anything really, other than me 10 times. And I was laughing so much because the whole thing was so ridiculous and hilarious. I didn't record it since the beginning, but at some point after the 4th or 5th death, I was like, man, this is just too ridiculous. I need to start recording. So I did record some of it. And then I saw like a godsend. I saw Glaive logging in. And I was like, Glaive. So first of all, you need to come and check this out because it's hilarious. It was basically the Verger Tower with 5 or 6 of my graves around, including 2 stacked on a window, 1 in the doorway, 3 in the basement. It was like, a Gwen cemetery in there. So I was like, yeah, Glaive, come and look. It's going to make you laugh. And also I was like, well, I think at this point, it's pretty clear that I can't retrieve my stuff safely on my own. So please help. And he did come and help me kill the mages so I could get my stuff back. But a lot of lessons were learned that day. I thought that the magic didn't work against the black marble, but I guess you guys proved me otherwise. But yeah, the second lesson, don't go and try to attack the mages unprepared, I guess. And especially not if there's a basement with no stairs, because I did die twice trying to get down to the basement or falling in the hole, basically, because I was just respawning with like 25 health, just running straight back to the location. And then sometimes while I was running around trying to avoid the skeletons, I would fall in the hole, either get blasted by the mages or fall damage would kill me.
Gwen, can I offer an alternate tip?
Yes, go on.
When on a death loop, eat full food and get rested before trying to retrieve your body.
I did try that, but it was useless because they would still they managed to one-shot kill me with my full padded gear on and good food. So naked me with no other set of gear, no one to help, even with a rested buff, and the food would not have been enough.
Go for the no skill drain.
Yeah, no, so instead I was just making a clown of myself. That was entertaining until someone better equipped was able to help.
It sounds like you had a good time, though.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. It was a good use of a lunch break because I only logged in for during my lunch break, and I was like, this is...
So you didn't record it or stream it or anything?
No, I just recorded the second half, but at that point, a lot of the crazy stuff had happened. But I did show on our Discord, I did post a couple of images. So the most hilarious thing was when we had I had, because of the skeleton surprise, literally an army of 20 skeletons and 1 rancid remain just stuck in the Verger Tower, all kind of running from one end of the room to the other, and me standing in the only safe spot, which was on a ledge, window ledge. And trying not to aggro them because there were a couple of skeletons with bows. And I died twice in the same spot. Didn't manage to stack my graves this time, but came close. But anyway, it was funny.
Well, if you ever take over that tower, you'll have a lot of free storage with all those gravestones.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's funny. So my tip for the week is a starter tip, and maybe somebody here on this podcast didn't know this at some point, but I've actually talked to other people who didn't know it either. But when you start off early game, they think you can only sneak after the deer with a knife. That was like the only way to get them, because otherwise they're going to run off if you just chase them right with your weapon, and you never have enough stamina to catch them. So you got to sneak up and try to do the backstab or whatever. But you don't. There is an easier way to kill deer early game, and that's make yourself a spear because you can throw it.
Yeah, but sneaking up on a deer and getting it with a knife is really easy.
Yeah, but sometimes the first hit doesn't always kill it, and if you do sneak up onto it, you stab it with your knife, and if it's still alive and it's running away, especially if it's got stars, right, because it's got more health, you just stand up and throw your spear at it, right? Otherwise, you got a deer with a little tiny bit of health, and it just runs away, and you never see it again.
I just chase it until
you get lucky, right?
Eventually I get it.
But yeah, so I one of the first things I try to make is a spear, even though it goes like this instead of like this, like maybe it should, right? So because it's a one-handed weapon, so you have a shield in the other, and you can stab. It has this weird animation like that.
Oh, look at that! Jiroc is learning from all the authentic, like medieval fighting lessons. But yeah, it is. Yeah, you can throw it too, but why would you throw the one thing that keeps you alive, right?
Well, you can pick it back up pretty quickly as long as you have your auto pickup on. One time I was running around, I was like, "Where's my damn spear? Oh, it's right there, sparkly," and I'm being chased by a bunch of things. And I'm like, "Why won't it pick up, stupid spear?" And then I had my auto pickup off, so that's why I couldn't pick it up. But yeah, so make yourself a spear early game and get yourself a deer, and then it's easy to get all the equipment you need and a bow and everything, because you need that deer hide right early game as fast as you can get it. But we found on the Chaos stream what we really we had plenty of deer hide. It was the boar hide we needed to upgrade everything. And you need a lot of it. So yeah. So let's we have Valheim trivia this week.
We do. We do. I have a not as many questions this time.
Okay.
So are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's join the voice or the text chat channel for this voice channel, so we can type in our answers.
We need to get ready to type.
MD's already got it there.
I'm already ready. All right. First question. You will have a multiple choice option, so if you don't know, you can guess.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know, you can just answer with the answer, and if you want to use the corresponding letter, that's fine too. How many eyes does a Jarl have? 1, A1, B2, C4, or D6?
Mm-hmm.
A1, B2, C4, or D6? All right, all answers in?
I thought none, to be honest. I was waiting for the option none. Yeah.
Jiroc has it right with 6 eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of videos with the Jarl. So I've seen him up close and personal during my videos.
I recently caged a Jarl below my treehouse to protect it, and I looked and I was like, oh my god, those are the eyes! I hate it.
That's a great trivia question, because they're flying up in the sky, so you maybe not get a really good look at them. Or it's just
and the
chaos.
trophy is only the mouth. So yeah. All right. Next question. What biome do you get the material for the 5th workbench upgrade?
And to remember what the 5th upgrade is.
I need to remember myself as well. You got the
What biome do you get the 5th workbench upgrade? just forget the material. What biome do you reach workbench level 5?
I'm going to take a wild guess here.
In standard progression.
Say that.
Yeah.
All right. And the correct answer is the mountains with obsidian.
And what is that upgrade?
It's the tool, the workbench tools, the tool rack.
Needs obsidian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And did you announce who got the right answer?
Jiroc.
Yeah.
All right.
I was just thinking maybe silver or obsidian. I just guessed it. I couldn't think of what was in the plains that it might be. I couldn't. It's like, there's nothing. I don't think it's black metal.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense because it's not forged.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So, speaking of obsidian, what do you need to obtain obsidian? A bronze pickaxe. B, an iron pickaxe. C, frost caves. Or D, both B and C. All answers are in.
Yep.
Iron pickaxe.
Really?
You can get loose obsidian in the frost caves.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like just lying around on the floor?
No, in the treasure chests.
We were thinking of what do we pick it with, but I guess it's
what do you
silver,
need
actually.
to obtain obsidian?
I was thinking of silver.
No one got that question. All right.
It's a little bit of a trick question, but yeah, it works. It's a teaser.
Mm.
We gotta think about it.
What happens when you place an uncooked fish into the fermenter? Do you get A, surströmming, B, medium ether mead, C, a red herring, or D, a broken fermenter?
What are you putting exactly inside the fermenter?
Uncooked fish.
Uncooked fish. Can't say I've ever tried, so I'm going to go for nothing.
Nothing wasn't an answer.
I have no idea which one would be the right one.
A, surströmming, B, medium ether mead, C, red herring, or D, a broken fermenter.
That's just funny. That's why I chose that to answer.
Okay, so everyone says a broken fermenter. The answer is, this is a joke from Smith A. It's a red herring.
Yeah, I got the joke, but is it like literally or
literally nothing? You get nothing.
So you were right.
I was right.
So Gorth gets the point.
Yeah, I was like a red herring. It's actually it's a fun.
So it's a
fun
joke answer. So Gorth was right.
Gorth was right.
Gorth.
So we will definitely say Gorth gets that point.
Okay, cool.
But that was oh my gosh, they told that joke in my stream last night, and I was laughing so hard.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
All right. What was the first mob that Grimcore worked on? A, wolf. B, fenring. C, stone golem. Or D, drake.
The first mob.
I'm only going out of style because of style, nothing else.
None of you got it right.
Oh, what's the answer?
The answer is the stone golem.
Oh.
Okay.
Now, he might have mentioned that at some point. I don't remember. I was actually thinking troll. I had typed it because I remember he posted some early artwork and the troll was in one of his early artwork. So I just typed it, getting ready for you to add it to one of the answers, and you never mentioned it. So
it's inspired by World of Warcraft models.
Okay. Cool,
yeah.
Cool. So what was that? Right. Was that 4 so far? Or no, 5?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We got a few more?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
What is the special name they have in the random vanilla skeleton name generators that you can summon?
What come again? What
What is the special name that they have in the random vanilla summoned skeleton name generators? A,
Special name?
No idea.
your best friend. B, Richard. C, Jiroc. Or D, party animal.
A, yeah, for sure.
I think I saw this in a Twitter post or something recently.
I've seen it already.
Yep, your best friend is the special name they added. All right. What damage type or types does the bile bomb do?
Oh, you're waiting for us to type it? No multiple choice for this one?
No multiple choice here.
Bile bomb. Been a while since I've looked at it.
Never seen it yet. Wait, bile bomb. It's a Mistland thing, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know. Pass.
Not percussion. Not concussion.
You did give us the option for multiples in what you said, so I'm going to go for a multiple and see if I'm right.
Poison fire. Is that a new thing?
Gwen, are you not answering?
She don't
Nope.
know.
Didn't even know it was a thing.
She put question marks.
All right. So the answer is poison and fire.
Ooh.
Oh,
Jiroc gets that
Jiroc did
point.
get it right.
I think that's poison as well. I didn't know.
Yes. All right. Last question. The music used in the early access trailer, first revealed for Valheim, is by Amon Amrath. What does that name mean? And for a bonus point, what type of music do they play? Gorth.
When in doubt, 42.
The answer to everything.
Well,
I only know the bonus, but not what it means.
All right, type in. Okay.
I use Google. Sorry. I'm admitting to it. I have no idea. So the second best thing is to use Google. But I don't think anybody else had an idea either.
This one was also thanks to Smithy. He suggested it. So the answer is the name means Mount Doom, not Hill of Doom, Jiroc.
That's bad Google Translate.
Well,
but he did get it for his second round of options. So he wrote Hill of Doom, Mount Doom.
Well, yeah, that's what Google says. It says Hill of Doom, and then it says the literal translation of Mount Doom. Thus, they gave the fire mountain a new Elvish name, Amon Amrath, meaning Hill of Doom, though almost universally translated as Mount Doom. Yep.
And Gwen, you got the bonus question wrong. It's not just metal, it's
death metal.
Death metal. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Fine. I got at least the main genre right. Not the subgenre, but
and that's it. Their Wikipedia page says is a Swedish melodic death metal band from Tumba.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember they mentioned it. Did you get that from Smithy? So it must have been on his interview, because I remember him talking about that, and a couple of people in our community were nerding out because we've got a couple of metal heads and fans of this band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. All right. I've not heard of melodic death metal. It says it's a subgenre of death metal that employs highly melodic guitar riffs, often borrowing from traditional heavy metal. Interesting. Now I'm going to have to look that up when we get off.
Yes. All All right. Well, and thank you for joining me for another round of trivia.
Thank you for putting
Hopefully-
that trivia together. That was fun. And
I feel like I'm asking questions that are too hard because there were a couple that you guys didn't get.
well, it's not just about us getting it right. It's also about us learning new stuff. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think Jiroc won.
Yes. I have.
Yes.
I have 5. Gorth has 1, and Gwen has some question marks. Let's see here. Well, yeah, I think. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. We our podcasts are getting longer and longer as we have more and more fun stuff to talk about, which makes it fun. I can put up a whole second half of the episode for those who are supporting me. Because I'm cutting them in half now. They get the first hour if they just want to listen, and then if they want to support for anything as low as they want, they can get the second half of the episode. So if you're listening to this, you're a supporter. Thank you very much.
You are the resistance.
All right, guys.
Well, thank you for joining me this week, everybody. As we get noddings, yeah, they're quiet. They've been talking for 2 hours.
On my ears.
That's it for now. Have fun out there.
Bye.
Bye.